TikTok, the app that brought us dance challenges, viral recipes, and endless entertainment, is now at the center of a high-stakes legal battle. This platform, which has become a cultural phenomenon, is facing an uncertain future as it stands before the highest court in the land. The app's meteoric rise has not only captivated millions, but also raised significant concerns among lawmakers and security experts. The Supreme Court appears poised to uphold a controversial ban on the platform, driven by one major concern: national security. The government argues that TikTok, owned by the Chinese company ByteDance, could be compelled to share user data with the Chinese government, posing a potential threat to American users and national interests. During intense oral arguments, justices from across the ideological spectrum questioned whether the ban even implicates the First Amendment. The debate centered on whether the government's actions constitute a form of censorship or a necessary measure to protect national security. The justices' questions revealed a deep divide on how to balance these competing interests. This is a critical hurdle TikTok must clear to challenge the law. The company argues that the ban is an overreach and that there are less restrictive means to address security concerns. Legal experts are closely watching this case as it could set a precedent for how the U.S. handles foreign-owned tech companies in the future. Chief Justice John Roberts and others seem skeptical, emphasizing that Congress's goal wasn't to restrict free speech, but to address the risks of foreign control. They pointed out that the legislative intent was to safeguard national security without unnecessarily infringing on individual rights. Justice Brett Kavanaugh leaned heavily into national security arguments, highlighting fears that China could exploit TikTok's vast data trove for espionage or manipulation. He stressed that the potential for misuse of data by a foreign adversary cannot be taken lightly, especially in an era where digital information is a powerful tool. With over 170 million American users, the stakes are undeniably high. TikTok has become a vital platform for self-expression, creativity, and even livelihood for many. The app's influence extends beyond entertainment, impacting social movements, political discourse, and even commerce. But not all justices were convinced. Some expressed doubts about the necessity and proportionality of the ban, questioning whether the government had provided sufficient evidence to justify such a drastic measure. Neil Gorsuch and Elena Kagan raised concerns about the ban's implications for free speech. They argued that the government must tread carefully when it comes to restricting access to information and platforms that facilitate communication and expression. Gorsuch suggested less drastic measures, like warning labels, could address concerns without an outright ban. He proposed that users be informed about potential risks, allowing them to make their own decisions about whether to use the app. Kagan, meanwhile, drew parallels to the Cold War era, when the U.S. tolerated Soviet propaganda, questioning whether cutting ties with foreign entities is always justified. She pointed out that open societies must sometimes endure uncomfortable truths to preserve fundamental freedoms. The ban, set to take effect on January 19th, could force TikTok to go dark in the U.S. This would mean the app could be removed from app stores, and existing users might lose access to updates, eventually rendering the app unusable. The potential impact on users and creators is immense, as many rely on the platform for their daily activities and income. This means the app could be removed from app stores, and existing users might lose access to updates, eventually rendering the app unusable. But uncertainty looms. The legal battle is far from over, and TikTok's future in the US remains in limbo. President-elect Trump has signaled he might negotiate a deal with TikTok, potentially delaying enforcement. This adds another layer of complexity to an already contentious issue. The possibility of a negotiated settlement introduces new variables that could alter the course of the legal proceedings. This adds another layer of complexity to an already contentious issue. The legal landscape is constantly shifting, and stakeholders on all sides are preparing for a prolonged battle. The outcome could have far-reaching implications for the tech industry and international relations. At its core, this case underscores the tension between national security and free speech. It raises fundamental questions about the role of government in regulating technology and the extent to which it can intervene in the digital lives of its citizens. The court is grappling with a critical question: does TikTok's Chinese ownership pose an unacceptable risk? The answer to this question could shape the future of digital privacy and international tech policy. A decision on the ban's implementation could come soon, but the broader constitutional questions may take longer to resolve. The justices must weigh the immediate need for security against the long-term implications for civil liberties. For now, TikTok's fate hangs in the balance. The app's users and creators are left in a state of uncertainty, unsure of what the future holds. The outcome of this case will not only affect TikTok, but also set a precedent for how similar cases are handled in the future. Millions of users, creators, and the future of digital expression are on the line. The decision will impact not just a single app, but the broader landscape of social media and digital communication. Stay tuned, this story is far from over. As the legal battle unfolds, the world watches closely, awaiting a resolution that could redefine the boundaries of technology, privacy, and freedom in the digital age.